Yeah.
Fly high like I'm NASA. Move my hips like a south side. I'm like butter on a lobster.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be showing you how to make this sequin party dress, and it is very simple, so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so I'm starting off using a long sleeve bodycon dress because that's basically what this is, with just a few modifications. So I folded the dress at the waistline, and from there you would take your waist measurements and mark it on the fabric. Since this fabric is pretty stretchy, I went in about an inch and then just added a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I did the same thing for the measurement around the knee. So now that I have all of the pins in place for the skirt, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out with my seam allowance and then use the same pattern for the back. Just a quick tip, typically when I'm doing something with sleeves, I kind of eyeball the amount that I will need for the sleeves, just so I'll be sure that I have enough fabric, because trust me, nobody wants to end up with one sleeve. So for the top of this dress, I'm using the same method I did with the skirt, just taking the bust measurement and the waist measurement and comparing it to the bodycon dress that I have. And once I get all of my pins into place, I'm just going to figure out how low the front should be cut. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, this dress is pretty simple. I think this is pretty beginner friendly. Once I figured out how low the top needed to be cut, I took my number. The number I used was 12, and I started at the shoulder and went down the bust line and stopped at 12 and just drew a diagonal line from the shoulder blade down to my stopping point. So now that I have all of my front pieces cut out, I'm going to use them to cut out the back. And basically I'm just doing mine exactly as the front in 2 pieces. But if you want to do it all in one, like a full back, then all you have to do is just put your pieces on fold and cut it out. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Like I said, this is pretty beginner friendly. So yeah, anybody could do this.
My baby.
So basically all I'm doing here is just pinning my pieces together for the front of the dress. So I'm taking the 2 front pieces that I now have and pinning them to the bottom, just getting them prepared to be sewn. So I just realized that I didn't have a clip of me actually showing you guys how I got this piece for the sleeve. I basically took the front of the dress that I just cut out and place the armhole on the fold of where I was going to make the sleeve, and I measured down the length of her arm, and I think the measurement was like about 23 inches. So I went down 23 inches and drew a straight line where the wrist would be, and then I just connected the other line to the bottom of the armhole. So now that I'm at the sewing machine, basically all I'm doing is sewing my pieces together. Basically it's just the 3 pieces that I had for the front and the 3 pieces I have for the back. Once I get them connected and create full front and back pieces, I will connect them to each other. Basically, the shiny side of the fabric on both sides would be facing each other, and you would just sew the side seams and the shoulder seams, and then after that you would be ready to sew on the sleeve. Even though my camera isn't at the best angle, I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can. This piece that you see in the screen right now is the sleeve. I personally like to sew my sleeves in half first before I attach them to the dress. Basically, just folding the sleeve like a taco with the right sides touching and sew down the side seam. To me, it makes it easier to sew into the garment, because when you take the sleeve and put it into the garment, you can just line up the seam on the underarms, and go all the way around, and then it'll basically be perfectly in the hole, if that makes sense. And then you're all done. Only thing you have to do now is just hem the bottom of the dress and the sleeves and the opening, and if you want to add feathers you can, or if you just want to leave it plain you can do that too. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.